Monday, Chat with Kat on A Better Life with Kat. I'm looking forward to talking to you this morning, to answering your questions. If you've never been on one of my lives, please join us on Monday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Mountain, 7 a.m. Pacific. If you're in the UK, you have to add 6 hours, I think. So 2 o'clock in the afternoon, no, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. If you do chat with me, please, if your handle doesn't have your name in it, add your name so I can call you by name. And now I'm going to start greeting people. I'm asking you to give me a thumbs up, and here we go. So good morning, Candace. Hi, Lisa IAO. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Ernestine Frame from Kansas. Hey, Joyful Life with KJ. Where have you been? Hey, Debbie Ernst. Hey, Christy Stinson. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Susan Wheat. Susan, I think I pronounced that right. Susan's one of my new mentees. Hey, Alden. Hey, Joyful Noise Mom, Jocelyn. Hey, Dee Cox in New Jersey. Hey, oh no, you're not in New Jersey. It's Dee and AJ. I'm sorry. Hey, AJ. Irene Hartwig calling in from Brandon, Manitoba in Canada. Sweet friend. Tony Rose, good morning. Micah People. Hey, Micah. Susan Wheat. That's right, Wheat. Thank you for reminding me. Carissa Patterson, good morning. Sweet Cat. Aw. Mary Sellers, good morning. And Roll Tide. Margaret Rose, hey everybody. Hey, Miss Margaret. Pat Fisher, good morning from Indiana. Debbie Cruz, good morning. Denise Jordan, hey Kat from Indiana. I hope all of you are having good weather. I've been hearing in the central and northern Alabama areas that there's been some rough weather, so I hope you're safe. Emma Ailes, is that how you pronounce it? Good morning from upstate New York. So I'm glad I finally got to go live on the chat. Hey, Emma, so glad to have you here. Mr. B is here. Let's roll with Kat and Mr. B.
Live chat, not top chat.
Live chat, not top chat. Thank you for reminding me. Let me put it in live chat too. Live chat, not top chat. That way I'll see your video, your things. Alice, is that right? Alice. I hope I said it right. Anyway, what are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about backsliding. You want to talk about that? Denise said they've got nice weather. It won't last long. Jean Bovier said, good morning, Kat and Mr. B. Lisa said, hello, Denise. Let's talk about backsliding. How many of you have ever backslid? I don't know the past for that, but anyway, raise your hand. I have. Sitting in bed in California, Candace said, my sweet husband just bought me a cup of coffee to drink while I watch the live. That's the life, girl. Mimi Chapman, good morning, Kat and Mr. B from New Jersey. Micah said, me. Oh, KJ said, I have. Oh, okay. So we're talking about backsliding, and that means that you let life get in the way. Alden said, yes, these past 2 weeks have been difficult with master remodel. Life, right? It's always life. So what we want to do, Joyful Noise Mom says, yup. Marty said, hey, hi. Tony said, sliding down that slippery slope. Yes, ma'am. We have all, tell me, English majors, is it backslidden or backslid? I have slid. Backslid. I'm pretty sure that's it. Denise said, I have, and I'm a continual work in progress. Yes, ma'am. So what we're going to do today is talk about how to get back on the wagon if we have backslid. And what is that? That's when you let life get in the way. It's when you stop being a thinking woman. It's when you do 52 card pickup instead of rearranging the cards in your hand. Backslid, Jocelyn says, good morning, Shay. Hi, Shay. So when I say 52 card pickup, we all know what that is. That means that we throw our cards in the air and just say, forget it, and we walk away. And if you've ever played a game of cards with anybody, even Go Fish, you know, if you have your cards in your hand and you're ready to make that play, and some person ahead of you takes the card that you needed or whatever, you have to be a thinking woman. That's life. So you have to say, well, let me just move this card over here and I could play this. It won't be as good, but it'll be better than nothing. Instead of throwing it all in the air and then having to pick them all up and be a bad sport, etc. So we're going to talk today about being a thinking woman. Candace said, so many backslides, but much fewer and shorter than in the past. Shay's raising her hands. Never will I die. Why didn't you tell us your son was... Okay, that to go, or Marty, you can get rid of that one right out of there. Joyful Life with KJ, my life is taking a major turn this coming Monday, and I need to get my act back together. Okay, thank you, Mr. B, for getting rid of that ridiculous person. Okay, so I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody during that time. Nope, I think I did not. All right, so what we're going to do is be a thinking woman. That means we have to keep our planner. You write your plan out for the week, you have all the best intentions, then you come to that day, or somebody tells you that weekend something big is happening. You take your planner as a thinking woman and you say, how can I rearrange this so I can still get my work done and do this thing? Because honestly, our work doesn't take all day. It just takes a little bit of time. So let's say it's a Monday and you plan to do a weekly home blessing hour if you're an at-home baker, or a Saturday plan to do a weekly home blessing hour in your zone, 2 hours of work that morning, and something happened, somebody's in the hospital, whatever. So what do? You say, where can I move this that makes sense? So if I can't move it to this afternoon, can I move it to Wednesday? I want to keep my free day. That's important to me. Can I move it to Wednesday? That's planning and desk day. That's about 2 hours. Weekly home blessing is 1 hour. That's 3 hours that day plus my zone work. But it was a quiet day anyway. I could do it that day. Or I can move it to Friday. Friday is car and purse day. That's such a little day. I can add it there, and then I can skip it the next Monday. It's like 2 in 1. I like that strategy. So you move it there, and then the next Monday you will have just done it, so you don't have to do it again, right? Okay, so be a thinking woman. Now, I know a lot of your backsliding starts with your routines because you're answering the call of the wild, which is your wild self, which is your base urges. You know, it's like, I want to stay in the bed. I want to sit here and drink coffee all morning. I do not want to do XYZ. Now, if you do that, and I've talked to you a little bit about this, I'll probably put it in my Patreon as well for this month, because this month is, what's this month called? April?
This would be March.
I mean, March. What are we calling it? Y'all remember what I'm calling March?
Yeah, be the CEO of your
Oh yeah, be the CEO of your home. So being a CEO requires that you are a thinking woman. So I'm going to talk about it in the Be the CEO of Your Home series on Patreon. It's $5 a month. You get one every single day. And there's one out already today. So you'll see some of these things that I'm talking about in this live repeated in the Patreon, but I really want you to hear this. So if you are not wanting to do something, or let me just ask you a question. If you were with a person and that person made you do everything they wanted, be at their beck and call, it didn't matter if it benefited you or didn't benefit you. If they said, do this, even though something was beneficial for you, planned for that day, you did that instead. What is that called? That's a slave. You're a slave. So when you yourself are saying, I don't want to, and yourself says, okay, we don't have to because I'm a slave to my needs. You know what that noise is, girls?
I can't even hear you.
You can't hear me?
No.
They're mowing outside my window. They picked this moment in time to mow.
I can hear you, but it's...
And so it'll only be a few minutes because the spot isn't big, but it's right there. They're mowing.
Some other time than 10 o'clock.
Who knew they were going to do it every Monday morning too? Maybe I'll have to move these to Tuesdays and just move my Tuesday peoples to Monday. I have to wait and see if I can do that. You can hear me, Candace?
We just do it
Okay.
an hour earlier.
We're just going to keep going. No, an hour earlier makes Pacific 6 o'clock, and that's just too early. I'm trying to accommodate everyone. Anyway, ADD, being a slave to yourself. So are you a slave to yourself? Do you say, I don't want to get up and brush my teeth and go to bed? Even though it would benefit you to go to bed on time, you lay on the couch and fall asleep and then go to bed late with your teeth not brushed. Or I don't want to clean up after dinner. I don't want to make my kids do XYZ. It's too hard. I'd rather just do it myself. It would not be beneficial to you or your children if you did that, and you're becoming a slave to yourself. So stop that. Stop that. Be a thinking woman and say, you know what? I hear this inner self, this inner child saying, no, I'm not doing it. You have to do what I say. And you're saying as an adult, absolutely not. That is ridiculous. I'm going to get up now and go brush my teeth and get in bed. I'm not gaining anything by laying here on this couch and losing precious sleep. I am going to get up this morning and get out of bed. I think they're done. Yeah, they've kind of moved off a little bit. Thank you, Candace. Or I am going to do the after dinner routine and I'm going to instruct my children and they're going to do what I tell them to do. Now, I know some of you don't have children and it doesn't apply to you, but it applies to yourself still. I need to clean up after dinner, okay? All right, so I want you to give me some questions or some examples so everybody can understand that they're not by themselves of times when you were obedient to your inner child. And you did not act as a thinking woman, but instead as a little slave to yourself. So if anybody can tell me some recent things they've done, that would be awesome. So I'm going to wait and see what you come up with. All right. In the meantime, KJ, what changes are coming in your life? You didn't say what your big changes are. If you want to share, I'm sure y'all are typing away. Let's see if anything came up that I missed. Good morning. A little late. Hi, Lolette, myself. How are you? What's going on? I don't feel so bad though, because I know I watch Jennifer Scott and sometimes people are doing her yard too. Hi, Nancy. I'm moving to full-time at Joyful Life. You are? Oh my goodness, KJ, that's so exciting. Definitely need to be a thinking woman. Definitely need to put yourself on a business schedule. Definitely need to be tight with that schedule. And because when you're your own boss, you need to be your best boss. Firm but kind. Don't be a lazy boss. That's not a good boss. Okay, I know you wouldn't be anyway, KJ, but I'm excited for you. I'll keep you in prayer. Good morning, Lita. So Lita or anyone else, Joyful Noise, she said, this is Jocelyn, before going to bed, foregoing after dinner routine. And okay, Jocelyn, that's a good example. And it's interesting that you say before going to bed, foregoing the after dinner routine. Are you going to bed right after you eat dinner? Because I'm trying to encourage you girls to eat, and guys, to eat earlier, especially if you have children, and then you don't leave the kitchen until it's done, and then you enjoy your evening. You go do your before bed routine for yourself, you take care of your body and your clothes, and then you put your children through their before bed routine, get them tucked in, then you can enjoy the evening with your husband and older children, and then you've got that final before bed routine 30 minutes before you go to sleep, which would need to be asleep, where you go in the kitchen and you just turn on the dishwasher, make sure there's soap in it, or if you have to hand wash dishes, they're already hand washed, but maybe you and your husband or your older children had a bowl of ice cream and somebody didn't put them in the dishwasher, or they don't wash their bowl. You're going to take care of that. Put out a new towel and then go into the bathroom, brush your teeth, and go to bed. So if you wait to do the after dinner routine until right before bed, you won't do it. Alden said, getting up on time, it ruins the day. Right, getting up on time is a benefit. Obeying your little child who says, I don't want to get out of bed, so stay here. That's what I like to think of her as. You have to say, absolutely not, little child. Get yourself out of this bed and go get your day going. You're going to have a better day. If you do not, you're going to booby trap your day. That's all I can say. You're going to set yourself up for failure. Little Lita likes to go to bed after midnight. Adult Lita likes to complain about how tired she is because she has to get up at 5. That's right. So little Leela has to be controlled. If you let a child control things, your life is like a child is controlling things. And we are not children, we are adults. Faye Schultz, hi Faye. Mine is skipping my own before bed routine. I will do the after dinner routine, help my kids' routine, and then just collapse in bed. Okay, so if after dinner, you go straight into the bathroom before the kids. You go straight into after the after dinner routine, go straight in, just do body and clothes. That means take a shower if you're taking one. If not, clean it up, wash your face, moisturize your skin, put your PJs on and pick out your clothes for the next day. That's all you have to do. Then you can put your kids through their before bed routine. And then finally your teeth happen right before you go to bed at the precise time. You have to have a hard stop for the day, okay? Jocelyn, thank you for continuing to put your name in there, Jocelyn. I have to read the Mercy Me first though, and I don't know your name. Alden said, that's exactly how I feel. Mercy Me says, getting out of my comfy bed is the hardest. Yeah, because your little kid says, this is my priority, but you know you have a bigger priority, Mercy Me. Okay. Joyful Noise Mom, Jocelyn says, home at 6 p.m., not much left in the tank, ask for schedule change, Jocelyn. But Jocelyn, you can still make it work at 6 p.m. If you have kids, I would recommend very strongly that you have pre-made meals or that you use your crock pot or something like that so that you can make a quick dinner by just serving it. I don't even think an Instapot is appropriate at this point with children. You need to be able to serve as soon as you get home. You do a clutter stop, you serve dinner, then you clean up after dinner. And if it's just too hard, use paper plates for a while. Everybody who eats off of their own plate puts their own plate in the dishwasher. If they can take the fork and feed themselves, they must help put their dishes in the dishwasher. Not help, they put their dishes in the dishwasher. Even a 3-year-old can do that. You just show them how. You would take care of the crock pot. I would suggest a crock pot liner. There are zillions of crock pot recipes that you can use. That's what I would do. And then maybe even pre-make some things that you can just warm up real quick when you get home. Okay? All right, let's see. This and that with Denise Jordan. Sometimes I don't want to sweep the kitchen. I'll say, do it in the morning or skipping after bed routine. So sweeping the kitchen takes how long? I know we don't want to do it, but how long does it take? 1 minute, 2 minutes? It's not a big deal. We're going to do it every day, and it keeps the floor clean so that when you get to the weekend and you get ready to mop, you've already swept it 7 times that week, and the last time was that night. So on Weekly Home Blessing Hour, when you mop that kitchen for 3 minutes, you don't even have to sweep it. So it's a constant, simple thing to do. Now, I would recommend some tools. You have to have a good tool. My mother had the coolest little tool. I don't have a place for one in my RV, but most people do in a regular kitchen. It was a little stand, a little stick stand, and it had a place like this where the broom went in, a little shorter broom, and the bottom of the stand had a little dustpan so that you just went around and swept real quick and then emptied the dustpan, hung it back in the corner or put it in the closet or whatever. So that's what I would recommend for that. Okay, and some people like to use their little vacuums, their little quickie vacuum, and you can do that too if that's more convenient. If it's like right there and you can use it, it has to be convenient, okay? Skipping the after bed routine. I don't know what that means. Do you mean the before bed routine? Yeah. Okay, Mary Thomas, getting dressed to supportive shoes is the best start of the day for me. Isn't that good? Whatever is best for you, you have to know that. And I've told you girls this a million times. I am not saying you must do X, Y, and Z. I'm saying these things should be done during the week or makes your life better if you do them during the week. But if you, like the original Flylady, Marla Silly, says dress to shoes. I am miserable in shoes. I'm a Florida barefoot girl. I don't put my shoes on and I don't require that you wear shoes, but try it. If it makes you feel more in charge of your life, put your shoes on. Mr. B wears shoes every moment of the day. I am barefoot right now. So I'm glad you have to just know yourself, okay? Let's see. But don't take that to the extreme. When I say, I know I want you to do certain things in the week and I recommend that you do this, that, and the other. If you say, well, that means I'm going to clean for 6 hours every week. No, I am not saying that. I am not saying that. People consistently say that to me. Well, Kat, my house is worse than anybody else's, and I feel like I need to catch up, and I'm going to work for 6 hours, and then I just get so overwhelmed and I kind of freeze up. That's because it's too much. 15 minutes 4 times a week for decluttering, or if you work 1 hour on Saturday morning for decluttering or deep cleaning if you've gotten your decluttering done. Before bed. Okay, so you're just skipping the before bed routine. And I think we addressed that, but I'm glad you shared it because that's true. Okay, let's see. I've got so many comments. Girls, I love that you're sharing. This is great. Faye Schultz said, thank you so much. Patricia said, good day. Fun size mom, where have you been? I just got off track for a few weeks with going to bed on time. I can tell a huge difference in my productivity when I am in bed by 10. So, fun size mom, what do you do about that? What do you do about that? You go to bed by 10, which means your hard stop for the evening is 9:30. To do your final before bed routine where you take care of that little bit I was talking about in the kitchen, make sure your dishwasher's running, etc., and go brush and floss and go to bed on time so that when you get in bed, and I'm sure everybody has different things, let the dog out, close the curtains, but it takes about 15 minutes if you do those household things, and then get in your bed and relax, and hopefully you'll be asleep by 10. Okay, Candace said, I do most parts of all the routines, but often leave something out. So Candace, is that because you forget or because you don't want to? Denise said, plan that dinner ahead and do a quick stir fry. So helpful. Absolutely. Fried rice to me is one of the quickie things, and you can use leftovers for that. Patricia, so nice to see your smiling face. Thank you, Patricia. Shay said, I have the same problem, not home until 6:15. Same thing, Shay. Same thing. So you leave the dishes till the morning. I think that is like the worst thing to do to yourself. What a mean thing to do. There's nothing meaner than to go into the kitchen in the morning and find cold, nasty dishes, and nothing sweeter than to get up in the morning to a shining clean kitchen and clean dishes. So that 15 minutes, you're going to bed 15 minutes later, but it's going to be worth it because you're going to be later than a person who can eat it gets home at 6. Okay. All right. Let's see. Micah, getting off at 12:30 a.m. That's right after midnight. Little Michael wakes up at about 1 for a feeding and finally go to sleep between 1:30 and 2. Have to get up by 5:15 to have time before hubby gets up. So a lot of times I get up at 5:30. What time do you have to go to work? I don't know. That doesn't seem like a good pattern for yourself. Can you think of a better way of doing that? Can you think of a way that you can stay in bed even though your husband gets up? Can you think of a way to parent, to co-parent? Can you think of a way to ask for help, to delegate? You need more sleep than that. You need more sleep, Micah, okay? I'm just saying, be a thinking woman. How can you work it out? Think it out, okay? All right, let's see. Jocelyn said, got it, thanks. Micah said, no time for me before they are up. You're gonna have to make time for you some other time, even if it's just driving to work and driving back. You have to put your makeup on if you're wearing it before you go to work, and you're going to have to say, this is when I'm doing it, but it's not gonna be at 5:15 in the morning. Candace, I'll get back to checking the steps to my routines in my planner. Good girl. And Candace, in April, we're going to do March into April on Patreon, and it is going to be a mini boot camp, and we will be going over all the steps again. Patricia, I backslid when I brought dear husband home, and all the equipment and boxes came in the next day for his medical supplies. People coming in darling daughter brought me a Roomba, and all the equipment is in place. Patricia, that's fabulous because you're a thinking woman. Patricia, I mentored years ago, and she is phenomenal. She is absolutely phenomenal. And I will tell you, having taken care of my parents, I understand the boxes of stuff and the pieces of equipment. But once you get them where you need them and get your helpers coming in on a schedule, that is huge. And I know you did it because you're a thinking woman. I'm so proud of you. Candace, for me, it's dressed to my socks. Haha. Here's my link. Mr. B put it on for us, the Patreon channel. If you want to be on my Patreon channel, that's the link, and that's $5 a month, and you get 5 videos a week, every single week, even when I'm on vacation, even when it's a holiday. I was looking it over. You'll even get one on Christmas. I won't go live on Christmas. It's going to be on a Monday, but every other time I go live, and every time I'm going to give you those. Now, also, if you need to be mentored, right now I am full. I don't have any room. But if you want to be mentored next month, you can go ahead and sign up for $5 a week and then send me a personal note through Patreon that you're interested in being mentored, and I will put you on a waiting list. Put your phone number in there, I'll call you and find out what you're looking for, and I'll put you on a waiting list, because I do have constant turnover because people have been with me for a long time and they graduate. Or they have situations where they can't stay for whatever reason. And so I almost always have a space or 2 or 3 or sometimes 4. So make sure you get on the waiting list, and I can take care of personally mentoring you. Just as an FYI, twice a month is $50. That's 2 25-minute mentoring sessions. 4 times a month is $100. That's 4 25-minute mentoring sessions. If you're interested in 3 times a month, I can give you that for $75. That's 3 25-minute mentoring sessions. If you need to do meal planning, I have meal planning 2 a month for $50. If you're interested in working on your finances, I have a financial meeting. It's a 1-hour meeting once a month, and it's $100. And there's homework for that before you come in. So I have different things for you. Whatever you need, I can help you with it. Well, in that format. Okay? All right. My dog is snoring. Let's see. Patricia said, I'm still moving forward from the backslide, getting back into my routines, and I know it will be better. Yes, ma'am, Patricia. Mercy me. I agree with Fun Size Mom. I have noticed that too. Sheila Morton, not enough likes for this motivation. Hit that like button. Thank you, Sheila. So sweet. I only have 22 likes. What? Shay, I skip my before bed routine often because I have cranky, sleepy toddlers. Yeah, because you don't do your before bed routine right after dinner, and you feed your babies early, like 5 or 5:30. So they're not so cranky and tired yet. And then if your spouse is home, he can watch your toddlers while you run in there and take a shower. If you can't take a shower at night and you can do it in the morning, change it to the morning. All you have to do is go put your pajamas on and wash your face, and not even brush your teeth. Wash your face, put on some moisturizer, come back out. You can even do that with toddlers hanging on your legs, honestly. Then you take care of getting them ready for bed, get them in bed, enjoy your evening, and then do your final before bed routine. In the morning, get up 30 minutes before your toddlers and get your morning routine done. Maybe 45 minutes if you're washing your hair and taking a shower. Okay? All right, let's see. Let's see. Ooh, here's some good stuff. Okay. Micah said casseroles using canned items, pot pies, pasta dishes, rice dishes are quick and easy. Absolutely. Nancy said the Roombas are great. They are. I live in an RV and I have one. Mine is called a Eufy, E-U-F-Y. It's less expensive than a Roomba, and it's excellent.
She's Hazel.
Oh yeah, her name is Hazel. We call her Hazel. Micah, people, I get up when he does to get his lunch ready and wake the girls up. I'm up the rest of the day with the kids and work. I've tried reworking my schedule several times until my schedule changes at work. Why don't you get your husband's lunch ready the night before, or have him get his lunch ready, and he can wake the girls up because you need to be sleeping. How would your husband act if he had 4.5 to 5 hours of sleep night after night after night? Have a conversation, be honest, delegate some responsibilities, co-parent. I know you're going to have to feed the baby, but you need to go back to sleep. You need your 8 hours of sleep, 7 at the least. Okay? Let's see. I can't find a way to get more sleep. Well, that's how. Corey, now, if that doesn't work for you, find something that does. Talk to your husband. Tell him your problem. Tell him you need your help. Corey Nykamp says, hi, everyone. Cheers to getting our lives together. Let's go, Corey. Carissa says, I'm still in a rut from the kids being sick and travel over the holidays. It's pathetic. Thanks for the added motivation to keep going with daily routines and not trying to catch up. Carissa, that is it on the head. That is it in a nutshell. You can't catch up. If you stepped off and the train is going, you just step back on. You're on a different part of the train, that's okay. Just keep going. Don't worry about what you missed. It'll come back around. This system is coming back around month after month after month. It's not a big deal. You stepped out, step back in. So Carissa has the answer. Nancy said, at Micah, any minutes for short naps? Micah said, been trying for years, same routine the last 10 years just about. Before I worked till later in the morning, got off just in time to take the girls to school. You know what I said. I know you typed that before I gave you my answer. Micah, maybe a neighbor could come over for an hour and let you rest. Your schedule's grueling. It's impossible, actually. It's impossible. I can't even imagine how unhealthy I would be if I got 5 hours of sleep every single night, night after night, and had those kind of physical requirements of myself. Corey, I'm struggling with the decluttering stage and not having a specific spot for something yet. I've been using boxes. Do you think this is a good idea? What else could I do? Corey is struggling with decluttering and not having a specific spot. Number one, Corey, go through your home with a paper and pencil, like a notebook, and go into the living room, start in there and say, where is storage in this room? Where is all my storage? And then imagine that you haven't moved into your house yet. You've got furniture in it, but you haven't moved your things in yet. What you would ideally like to keep in each of those storage spaces. Go in the kitchen, do the same thing. Go in the bathroom, do the same thing. Go in any other rooms and bedrooms, do the same thing. Go into your master closet, do the same thing. Go into all the storage closets that you might have, do the same thing. Go into the basement, the attic, the shed, the garage, do the same thing. Now you know where things go. So as you declutter, let's say you're starting in your living room and you've already just designed where you want things. You open up this spot where you're going to keep, I don't know, games, and you take out a shelf full of stuff and none of them are games. And you say, okay, well, I know where these go because I made a place for these. They go in room A. So you put them in a box. You can use a box for room A. So when you get to room A and you're decluttering the space for that thing, you can put that thing or those things in that spot. Does that make sense? And that's the way you'll go through the whole thing. You don't want to just put things in boxes for no reason. You have to have a reason. And when you pull out things, you're going to find things you didn't assign spaces for. And I'm willing to say that those things probably aren't important. You probably don't really love them, need them, use them. You probably don't. And I will tell you all what I told one of my clients this week. Her husband has a gaming system that he had as a child, and it's huge, and it doesn't work. And they spent money to repair it, and it still doesn't work. And he doesn't want to get rid of it. So it's sitting by their television. And she has decided to empty a closet and stick it in that closet, taking up the whole space. And I said, well, then why don't you just get your husband to get some drywall, take the door off and drywall it in and just have it in the wall, because you're not using it. It's taking up space, but he must have it. So knowing it is in the wall, taking up some square footage might make him happy. And that's the way I want you to think about all your junk. You know what? I just want to keep it. Well, fine, let's open up a spot in the wall, stick it in there and wall it in, because that's the emotional attachment you have to these things, which makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you want a streamlined home that you can find things in, that you feel control in, and that you feel peace in, then you can't keep all that stuff. Let it go. They make it every day. Should you find a year from now that you really want XYZ, go buy it. But I guarantee you, you won't think about it again. Let it go. And probably it's not even worth giving away. Sometimes we hang on to stuff that's not worth giving away. How's our time? We're good. Mr. B, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're all good.
Better than fine.
Let's see. You're better than fine. You are. Finer than frog hair. All right, let's see. Let's see. I'm going to start at the bottom because I've got so many comments and ask you to hold your comments for just a minute. And then I'm going to, then we can start again. So we're going to end our comments right now with She's in Her Apron. Hi, Kimmy. After moving twice in 1 year, I realized I could let go of a lot more stuff, take pictures of things from memory. Great suggestion, Kimmy. Micah, people, and welcome, Kimmy. We love you so much, and your planner is excellent. She's in her apron.com.
Hers are not going to make any sense reading backwards unless you go up to the
All right,
third one.
I just have to learn to be firmer and put me first. Okay, that was from Micah, so I'm going to go back to Micah and read her first one. He'd be grumpy, and I've asked him, this is about if he only got that sleep, to help get the girls up, but he acts like it's so that and get ready when he is the grouchy because he's running late. It's hard to change as I've always got his stuff ready before work, no matter my shift for 20 years, even before kids. He's used to it and hates change. I can pack the majority of his lunch, but his breakfast I cook that morning. I just have to be firmer and put me first more. You know what? Do you not hate what you're doing? I mean, it's okay to hate change, and it's okay to hate the situation, but this is the situation. I would, again, have a strong conversation about it's too bad that you hate it. I cannot function. The girls, please take care of yourself. This is taking care of yourself. This isn't arguing with your husband. This is telling him what he needs to provide you. And you had children together. You're not the parents. You're the parent. Micah, I love you and you've been on here a long time, but I really, really want you to think about what I'm saying, okay? Okay. And you know what, Micah? Sometimes, and all of you, sometimes it's so much easier just to do it yourself. And that's what happens to a lot of our parents. They have children. They don't want to teach their children how to do stuff because it's so much easier just to do it themselves. And then they grow up, the kids grow up and they've got teenagers who can do nothing because they never took the time to teach them how. Or maybe your mom didn't take the time to teach you how. And honestly, it works the same way with husbands. You have to show them how. You just say, here, this is what time you need to get up. But you're still going to get, look, this is how much sleep you're going to get. And when you come home, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And all you have to do is this, this, and this. Okay. Let's see. So that's Micah. Carlene, great morning. Hi, Carlene. Lita, my spinal issues make it difficult to stand. I started cooking every other day. On the days I cook, I make twice as much, one to eat and one to freeze and use on my more painful days. Excellent, Lita. Candace said, Kimmy. Nancy said, as moms, we just do what we need to do. I certainly understand. My husband used to travel extensively and I work 60 plus hours a week with 2 children. Yep, but you can still make it work. You can. Micah, wish I lived near you, Candace said. I'd be there in a heartbeat to help give you some time. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask friends for help. Absolutely. Just ask. Nancy, thanks for the suggestions. They all work during the day. Fun Size Mom, one-on-one with Kat is worth the money if anyone is on the fence about it. She mentored me for almost 2 years. Life-changing. You're so precious. And you know what? It was a struggle, wasn't it? It was a struggle in the beginning for her, but she came around and she is, I got back in touch with, did you get in touch with me or did I get in touch with you? I can't remember, but we got in touch with one another, somebody, somehow. And she is still doing phenomenal. And I'm so proud of her. So proud. Corey, I'm struggling with the decluttering stage and not having a specific spot for something yet. Okay, so I've caught up. So I've answered all the questions all the way down to she's in her apron. Tony, feeling optimistic, just put my spring summer sheets on my bed, even though the weather in California is going to rain all week. Well, Tony, I'm glad. You know, attitude is everything in life. You texted me, I'll read it. Shay said, yay, I'm going back on Patreon. I need it. Yes, come back, Shay. Peony Pantry, Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa. Yay, here live. Welcome. Micah said, you just made me cry because you're so sweet and caring, and I know you're right. Days like today are part of why I love watching you. You're so encouraging, even when you have to repeat things. You know, I feel bad saying those things. It makes me feel like I'm so firm and almost mean, but I really want you to get it, Micah, okay? And I love you so much, and I'm so glad that you're hearing what I'm saying, and I'm glad that you're receiving it well. I really am.
Meanie.
Huh?
Meanie.
I'm Meanie. Larry called me Meanie. D, lovely life. Great suggestions as a family caregiver. Time management and routine are key. Absolutely, D.
You going backwards still?
Okay.
Yes, mentoring with Kat is worth every cent. My angel. I also mentored Kimmy. Kimmy actually helped my channel grow because one day I was talking with her, mentoring her in your office, Kimmy, and she said, "Do you mind if I record this?" Or, "Yeah, record this." I said, "Sure." And she did, and then she put it on her channel to show people, and all of a sudden I got new people. It was great. That's when in the early stages. Penny Pantry, looking forward to chatting with you Thursday. Awesome.
And another thing about our patron, all through inflation, all this inflation, we have not raised our prices.
Oh.
They've stayed the same.
You know what? You're right, Larry. We
They've
have
stayed the
not
same
raised our
since the
patron
beginning.
patron
It's
prices.
cheap. $5 is cheap for
$5.
5 videos a week.
It is cheap, and I work every day
And
making
you're
you a
not
video.
cheap.
And let me tell you what, I don't want to do it. My little inner child says I don't want to do it. But if I put it off, I'm miserable because I'm tired, it's late, it's the end of the day, and I don't want to do it. So my inner child has to be corrected, and I have to say, get up and get those videos made for your people. They deserve it. Larry said I'm not cheap.
And it
Meaning
also
that my stuff is important,
Yeah.
is what he means,
It
yeah.
also encourages when someone sends us a comment that says we've changed their life.
Oh, it
It's-
is very
that's worth
encouraging.
it all.
Even Larry reads our comments too, and he says, "Listen to this, Kat." And I said, "I know, I read it." It's like, "Kat, you've changed my life. You've changed my children's life. I really appreciate you." It's heartwarming. It's very heartwarming, and I cry many happy tears reading those beautiful things. So I enjoy listening to Mr. B's music.
Oh, thanks.
Vanessa
I'm gonna start
said.
trying to put some more on.
Watching Kimmy's video is how I learned about you, Kat. Thanks, Kimmy. Aw. A bargain at twice the price, Tony said. Thank you, Tony. Mercy Me said, you share such words of wisdom. Thank you, Mercy Me. Micah, no need to hear it because I just do it myself to make it easier. Let me go back. No need to hear it because I just do it myself to make it easier. Oh, yep, that's right. But in the long run, it's not easier. It's bad for you, right? Let's see. Lindsay Reitz. Hi, first time catching you live. Hi, Lindsay, welcome. Stopped Flylady for many months, but need to get started, but struggling. I homeschool 3 kids with 1-year-old who is wild. Feel like the time in my day disappears. Yes, girl, I know. It's tough and it's hard, but you can do it. You just have to have a plan. I think having a 1-year-old, if he's just, or she, could be a wild she, if he's just now 12 months old, at 9 months is when you start to get your life back. It takes a long time to get back into the swing of things. And at 9 months old is when I find most people can really get their life chugging along a little better. It's a real stop and start with babies. But, you know, it's not 100%. A wild 1-year-old is difficult. And some of my worst 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds are the ones who, I'm going to say it, they sleep in the same bed with their parents. They have not been sleep trained. They don't go to bed at a timely manner for little teeny babies. If you don't know how much sleep your baby needs, go online and look it up, and it'll tell you how many hours of sleep your baby needs on average. Will your baby sleep that much? I had one that did not. But at least try to get your child down for a nap. Often when they're wild, they're exhausted. Just like my puppy. And I know a baby is not a puppy, but I got a wild puppy. If she starts doing the zoomies and getting mouthy with her little teeth, I found a lady in England who told me that's the beagle fighting sleep because she needs so much sleep. So I put her down for a nap, all the difference in the world. And you just have to let her be in there and cry sometimes, and then she'll go to sleep. So sometimes those little wild 1-year-olds just need sleep. Now, I don't know that for sure on your 1-year-old. He could have ear infections, he could be teething, but they shouldn't be wild all the time. Just saying.
You should see her now.
She's upset. She's sleeping on her back like that. Talking about my dog. Sorry. Let's see. Let's go up here. Fun Size Mom. Watching Kimmy's video is how I learned about you. I read that. Okay. Vanessa said, enjoy Mr. B. Okay. Micah, freezer or go to breakfasts. Go to breakfast. Make casseroles, frozen burritos, instant oatmeal. Helps when I'm so tired to make breakfast, and your husband can do it on his own. He can. He just has to. I have to fight my inner child every day. Me too, Kimmy. I mean, I do. Kat, you came into my life at the perfect time. You know that. God is good. I love you so much, Kimmy. You're just my favorite. You're so precious. Micah, no need to hear it. Okay. To hear it, you're firm, but never mean, and it comes from a place of caring. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Alden, I've tried. The kids and I eat those fine. He always says they are still cold in the middle. Burritos and sandwiches make ahead. And maybe he needs to warm it a little longer. Yes, sleep training is amazing, Micah said. All right, girls, let's see what time it is. I've got about 8 minutes, and I've got a client, so I'm going to have to go. Emma said she has to jump. I got to jump too. Thanks, Kat. I always walk away from your videos inspired. Thank you.
Me too.
I love you, girls. I love you, and you are just so dear to me. And talking to you starts my week off in a wonderful way. And I hope and pray for you. When I go to Mass on Sunday, I give my communion up for all of you girls. I want you to know that I really care, that you do well, that you follow the advice I'm giving you, because it will change your life, and it will satisfy your need for peace. Okay? All right. All right, that's it. Have a wonderful day, and always remember that you are beautiful. So be beautiful. Bye. Thank you, Nancy. Bye. Yes, Mercy. I gotta go. Bye. Bye, Denise. Bye, Lindsay.